Welcome, everybody, to audio commentary number 29. 29 we are up to right now. My name is Cecil, and today I am going to be casting for you guys one of my own games. Once again, this is about 2 in a row here. Today's match features Helix. He is the Terran player at the bottom left corner of the map. And myself up at the top right corner of the map. Now, I know you're looking at this little timer here and saying, holy freaking crap, we have a 39-minute long game. It won't take 39 minutes, I promise. We're going to make it, we're going to speed up the boring parts. So, alright, well, tonight's show, we are doing a highlight on Zerg versus Terran. So with that in mind, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can peek in on our shows every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's taking place at around 7:30 Eastern until around 11 o'clock at night. Eastern time again. Try to keep it consistent. So, back over here. We want to start this off in the early game. Here's what I see. First thing I want to check for, okay, is he going for, okay, no gas in the beginning. So that tells me he's a little bit limited in his options. He could either be saving up for a bunker rush. That could be a possibility, especially with me on this position of the map. Now, why am I worried? Terran have an amazing position right here. If you make your bunker right in around this area here, your SCV is in very good shape to construct that bunker. It also makes it very easy for anything really in that area to be defended. That SCV can hop out there and repair it, just unattacked, completely safe from melee. So I am very, very, very vigilant on stopping him from getting anywhere close to my base. So I'm going to keep my scouts out just a little bit here. If you look at my vision, here is what I see. I see a general path here and a general path here. If he's making a beeline straight to my base, that's what I'm going to see. I still go for the Expo, however. I went for that a little bit late. I did begin off with the spawning pool first. I did that in response to not seeing his refinery there. But this is a very good thing. Bad because I did not cancel this extractor. I need to keep the cancel game going on to maybe force him into getting 3 Marines out, possibly. But here's what I'm seeing. Marines in the base attacking my own extractor. I'm very happy to see this. I'm pretty safe, and I did see him make his refinery as well over there. So, okay, he's telling me, alright, he's going for a more conservative build, perhaps a fast expo, perhaps working over to some Hellions, you know, just keeping his options open. And sure enough, there is your factory out in time. No attachments down on the barracks yet. So, against Terran, always, always, always keep your scouts up all the time. So here we go. We have the expansion almost complete here. I'm going to make my second queen right now. I'm probably going to make a queen at this expansion as well. One to just spread the creep wherever I can go. We will just be handy-dandy with that, getting some speed as well. Let me speed this up, get past some of the boring parts to make it look like we're actually doing something cool and engaging. I'll go to my camera. Oh. Alright, enough of that. Alright, well, let me go back down to normal speed, and let me go to my vision. I want to show you guys the situation that I'm in. Okay, you're Zerg. Look at the time in the game right now. We're almost at about 6 minutes. So let's see. What can Terran get at 6 minutes, given this situation? They have a fairly late refinery, not super early, and he waited a little bit. So what situation could they be in? Well, we want to scout his base, and here's what we see. Okay, we do notice that, yes, he is going for some Hellions, so at around the 6-minute mark, he's not completely ready to attack you with the Hellions yet. You're going to wait more towards a 6.5, close to 7-minute mark, so at around 6 and something, that is a vital point that you want to scout the Terran's base, because let's look at his base right here. Here's what I scouted. I did click on the tech lab, and that did show me that he's either going to be getting, you know, maybe some infantry upgrades. Obviously, right now we notice that he is going for the stims. I don't know that yet in game. But he is going for some medevacs as well. And let's see my vision. Did I notice that? Yes, I did. I noticed he's going for a starport. So he could be going for a timing. We don't know yet. And I did not see that he was getting his expo yet. So here's what we do. We position these queens up here. It's just a wide open area around here. It's very difficult to keep a complete block over there. So we're just going to make it really crappy for him to attack with these Hellions. And I am going to block this off a little bit with these queens. best thing I can do for now. So I do see him back a little bit. I notice him with the Overlord and say, okay, I can get some larvae out there. This is set up to where I can place my spine over there, just blocking off this entire way. Having some spines out there. I have a decent defense against his Hellions, so that's fine. But usually when you see a Hellion push, here's, I think, one of the mistakes that I made. At this point, this is your vital scouting point. Because at this point, either he tried to tenderize your income a little bit. Let's speed this up. Either he tried to slow down your income, which, I mean, let's look at this. I'm at 31 and he's at 25 right now. Either he tried to slow it down. This is the importance of your Xel'Naga towers. Either he tried to slow it down to prepare for an attack, or he tried to slow it down for you to take your time. And there's the scout right there, to take your time away from you to get some drones and go in for an attack. But no, he used that to buy time, get himself his expo. And I'm going to get just a few lings over here. I do have banelings, but I'm going to wait for some speed. If he gets some stuff over there already, yeah, I'm not going to sweat it too much. By this point, I was fearing siege mode, actually, and I was a little bit behind on my timing. And I did not see that he was in siege mode ready to go yet. So I could have made some 3 banelings early and maybe killed a few. But I want to wait till that populates a little bit more. But checking out his vision, he does notice some banelings down here, so he goes in for the attack. This is the advantage. Like I said, go to my vision. Here's what we saw. We saw a Viking and we saw a medevac just from having that Zergling over here. This Zergling is an excellent way to tell you where he's trying to go into the game. You can bring it over here, see if he's trying to chip away at the rocks. You can just keep it here for simple sight. There's another good spot to see. So, I mean, I saw that early. Look what it gave me. It took away from him. It took away from him the element of surprise. That an element that, oh god, he's sending a friggin' drop into my base. No, none of that's happening anymore. I am making my transition over to some roaches right now. Especially working on the infestors. I'm a little bit behind on my expansion. So when you are in a situation like this, when he is getting his expansion, I mean, look, he's not going to attack with this. He is making just a few things out of his barracks. I mean, 1 Marauder, but really he's not going to launch an attack with this. So I can afford to sit back a little bit, get a few more expos. He's trying to poke at me with some drops here, so I'm not wigging out about it too much. But I do have this little force of lings here, so this is going to try to kill the gold rocks that sit in the way, and also try to get these destructible rocks. So that's my objective for now. Let's speed this up, get this sped up just a little bit here as I take a sip of my delicious beer. We see a little bit of shenanigans going on here. Slowly killing a few Marines out of that, so he's... it's good for me. Notice what I did here. I did block this off so we don't have any Hellions just running over there and giving me a hard time. I also try to go for an expo right here. It's a risk. Why is it a risk? That's his general path if he wants to send some medevacs over there. Also, I do have myself set up now for some mutas. I'm late on the mutas as well, so please take into account, if you're in this situation, why did I say I was late? He's sitting back with an expo. Look at his army size. He's not ready to attack. Maybe right now, but maybe just a couple minutes ago, he wasn't going to attack. So that was a great opportunity for me to just continue on and go for a few extra things. So there we go, trying to scout into his base. I see that he's very well prepared for mutas, so I'm a little bit limited in what I can do with these mutas right here. So let's speed this up. I do have the infestors just getting some energy, waiting a little bit. I do have burrow, but I am worried once again about some detection, and sure enough, he has detection right there, so the element of surprise there with some infestors is non-existent. Catches expo right here. Now I want to pause this right here to just stress this point. This attack right here was huge. This is something that kept me in the game. He has an army right there. This is what I learned from this attack, and just from keeping a Zergling here, for God's sake. I looked at his army. I checked for upgrades. So I saw, okay, 0 upgrades right now. Maybe in a little bit he can get a... No, don't notice anything yet. So I saw his army size and his army composition. Another thing, I got a good chance at sniping some tanks here. I know that he's getting back to defend just a little bit. He has aspirations of trying to get this gold here. So I want to divert him away, let the creep tumor spread a little bit to delay him from getting that in there, and just punishing Terran Expos is key. Punishing them is the most necessary thing of keeping you alive in the game. Speaking of Expos, I do have all this ready to go. I am researching the neural parasites so I can perhaps try to mind control some siege tanks if I can't get in too far. If not, I can mind control his Thors. Here's a quick question. Actually, I want you guys to sound off in the comments of this video. If you mind control a medevac that is full of Marines, do you get control of the Marines? I don't know. I've mind controlled medevacs to heal my Ultralisks. It was funny as shit. But I never really tried to mind control one full of Marines. Tonight's mono battles, or anything tonight, we need to test that out. Our listener involved thing. So let's speed this up. Let's take a look over at Helix's econ right now. Still trailing behind, but thanks to some mules in his army right now, he's able to be just fine. He does not have to worry. Looking at the upgrades here, we're working on the 2-2 upgrades as well. Let's look at the mech. No upgrades yet on mech. We do, however, no, I was about to say we do have one in progress, but we do not. Sorry, he's making command center after command center, one to go there, and obviously one to go here. That should be known. But look at this. I mean, he's just keeping tabs on my base. This is so well protected back here. He's just massing up more and more of his bio. He is ready to go with this. Now, I'm not making too many banelings right now. I want to rely on just the infestors, just keeping a fungal lock on his army, so I can allow my mutalisks to go in, kill the siege tanks. With this many siege tanks out, banelings lose their effectiveness, but I do want to make some regardless, because if I'm able to get some banelings in there with a fungal growth, it's a guaranteed kill, and it'll give me even some more room. Just slice that army through a little bit faster and go for a little bit more of an aggressive rather than controlling approach to the next fight. And I do just that. Here we go. I did get armor first. Why did I get armor first? It mitigates some of the splash damage from the siege tanks. So perhaps that, you know, way outer layer of banelings that I have highlighted right here might survive the attack. But the siege tanks just tear at me. I'm not ready for this fight, by the way. Notice how I'm making about 32 lings right now. Ugh, it's pretty bad. I need to get some lings out ready to go to get him from the behind right here. But he does have this planetary fortress blocking me, so I don't know if I can make it past this point. So he's forming this little wall right here that I can't get through. If I want to get through there, I'm going to take some pain. So he sets up a very, very good position against me, and I'm looking at losing my my gold expo right here, and this is critical. Because if I can't kill his gold and he kills mine, this is a major, major setback. So we're going in right here. I do get a fungal growth off on these Marines, so I managed to kill all those Marines. So I'm very happy to see this. I'm able to fend him off just fine for now. This army size is manageable. So I'm going to kill any Marines that try to come my way. But look at this. I mean, he just sends his next wave of his barracks. So I've just got to wait for these Zerglings to come out. If I go in with what I have here, it's going to die. So I lose my gold expo. This just pisses me off because this is a huge setback. But I do have these extra bases going on right now. They're mainly just farming gas for me. I do have a lot of minerals set up right now, so I can just overrun with a bunch of air. Notice I am working on some Broodlords coming up next, so I'm trying to hold back as far as I can. And this is a huge problem because if I lose this expo, I mean, granted I'm not getting enough minerals out of it, but this is it's just expo after expo. He's getting 2, and if you're able to get 2 like that, oh my god, it's just hard to recover from. But I mean, with such an army size, I can sit back, let it die just for a little bit. I mean, I hate it though. Beer. Okay, so back over here, he's got a little Bioforce out there, trying to do as much damage as possible. But I do have this, and I do have 8 Broodlords under construction. So this is going to be very, very nice for me here. Broodlords, here's the thing, you're kind of tethered to their speed as well, so they're a little ball and chain for your army. I am trying to get this, I do aggressively try my best to keep the gold expo out here. Let's slow this down for the fight. I do manage to get some Baneling attacks down on there. This is very nice, but siege tanks are still just laughing in the face of Banelings, but I do have a very big and very hard to manage amount of Broodlords here. Look what he can make at a time. 2 Vikings at a time, that's it. I have plenty of mutas going into this fight right now to handle any kind of Vikings that are headed my way. I just have to manage these as effectively as I can. I lose sight of it a little bit, and you know what it cost me? It cost me a Broodlord. I'm down to 7 now. So a little derp there cost me a Broodlord. A little derp here by keeping these mutas a little too far away from that is going to cost me as well. I'm doing best to neutralize some of the anti-air so these mutas just have free farming throughout this entire part of the game. I'm able to kill his expo here. Now this is a huge thing, and this is what I was very happy to see. No SCVs in this area, so I'm like, alright, this is the break I need. Granted, he is just loaded up on SCVs over here. Let's look at the harvester count. He's only 4 away, and with mules, that's something I cannot do. We cannot match resources. Terran will win, given that he has mules. He has rank 3 now. Upgrades for his bio is going to kick in just a little bit here. He's also just continuing on with pumping out Vikings. So I got to run these back a little bit. Mutas are going to keep me in for now. Keeping, you know, like I said, you're tethered to your Broodlord, so please keep that in mind. Know that you really shouldn't venture too far away from there. We noticed an example of that. I mean, we did lose Broodlords as well. We're going to make about 5 more here. And really, this is how well can you handle a little army here. So we're going to overrun with Lings and Broodlings, so it's just, we're going to go for a complete surround of his army. Attacking the Marines, that's no problem. Killing off pocket by pocket of Vikings here is key. It's making it to where I cannot just get overwhelmed, and he can just nut through it and just attack these Broodlords directly and still kill them all and keep the threat down. So notice what I'm doing here. I am getting a few drones, so if this attack does not win the game for me, or just cripple him enough to where I can win the game, I am going to drone up and at least set myself up for a comeback. These Broodlords are still back there, so they're just starting to join the fight. Like I said, we're only down to 3, so I'm forced to retreat a little bit. I want to tug on his Vikings a little, just a little, but I don't know. He's got way too many SCVs. I need to send some infestors back here to get some fungal growths on this entire patch right there. So he's going to go for some repairs. But all in all, Helix is still just chilling back in his base. He is just left with just this ground right here that he has control over. He's got a little bit more with this radius here with his tower, but that is about it. Trying to check if he's got something over there. He doesn't, so I'm even happier to see that. Don't get a full kill on his army here, and I'm a little bit worried. He's starting to mass up his Vikings a lot, and that is more than these mutas can handle, I think. But I'm dedicated into this fight. I got to kill as much as possible. And at the same time, as I'm pushing that back a little bit, these got to run back as much as possible. I'm just desperately trying to pump out these infestors. These infestors can save me. We've seen some of the I-Cup games. We've seen the NASL. We've seen just pockets of Vikings get devoured by fungal growth. So I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to get a Viking pocket where I can get that. He's putting all of his juice into killing that hatchery, trying to get some more fungal growth here, but I can't get enough fungal growth. He is just constantly just drilling away at these four Broodlords here, and sure enough, I'll have a little bit enough to spawn some Terrans, but that's about it. He kills enough of the Broodlords, and we only just trade air for air, and that is a favor in his side here. So let's speed this up. Both of us have entered kind of like a recovery phase right here. We say, okay, kind of lick our wounds here. I go for a tech switch. I go for a bunch of roaches. He can get his Vikings out a lot faster now than I can get my Broodlords. See, he's got plenty of Vikings, so Broodlords are out of the question. I gotta make the switch. That's a really good time to make the switch. So I'm gonna go back down to my ground units a little bit more. I'm going to go for a little bit more infestor heavy build here as he's getting a few more Marines. Get a huge kill right there, killing all of those. Trying to get some fungal down on these Vikings, but I back off. I realize, hey, they're not going to be a threat right now because I'm not making any error. He can continue making Vikings, that is fine, but look at that. That tech switch has netted him a loss of whatever the resource costs are for all of those Vikings. Expanding some creep back here, so for the future part of the game, I do plan on getting some spines back there. To, you know, I'm going to try to time it out to where when these spines come up, okay, that's a great opportunity to shut down his gold, because, I mean, look at all this. He is getting so much off of that gold expo right now. With mules, I mean, he's at 3,000 a minute. Freaking mules, like, God, I hate Terran. So, anyways, checking his production. This is a bold move here by Helix. He's making Banshees. Why is he making Banshees? If I go for anything like Ultralisks, I am screwed. Banshees are amazing versus Ultralisks. They're also really good at sniping out Infestors. It's a very, very wise decision for him to make. I think he's caught on to the idea that, okay, I'm stopping him with the Corruptors and Brute Bullets and all that stuff, so I'm making a tech switch. He's responding as well. So let me speed this up. Back over here, I do manage to get 2 Spine Crawlers out here, and this is when he gives this away. This is huge. I see the Banshees, so I think, whoa! That means I got to get some counters to these Banshees. So if you look, I'm making Spore Crawlers everywhere that I can. Let's speed this down. We actually got a fight going on here. Managed to get a fungal growth, get all of these Banelings just freely attacking. This means I get an attack on his Expo. I'm able to clean this up, killing this gold Expo. I think by this point in the game, like I said, we won't know who wins until 5 minutes. Catching him in the middle there and getting a good fungal growth. Forcing him to get a ton of anti-air. I mean, you can fungal through Cloak, that is fine. That is what won me the game. Sure, he's able to fend off my forces just a little bit here, but I denied his gold. And I kept him back a little bit right here, so let's look at the income. He's not making anything. This is gone. This is gone. I've just brought him back down to 1 base. This is huge. This is the best possible thing that I can do right now. In response to this, I am going to go for some Hydras. I think I was doing that just to kind of mess around. Yeah, he's making some Banshees. But I'm not sweating it too much to the point. I mean, I do have fungal growth, and that's great. But what if he goes Ghosts? If he goes Ghosts, this huge pocket of Infestors, my only counter towards his air is going to be wasted. Because I know I can't go Corruptors. He's got plenty. What is this, Battlecruiser? He's going plenty of anti-air, so I got to go for some ground units to counter that. And Hydras, I think, were the best bet for me by this point into the game. But he does have some BCs, so that's pretty tough. But that's just easy enough for me to Neural Parasite. Finish up the game. So we'll speed this up. Notice how he does put a little bit of a pocket of units over there. But, yeah, that's just about it. I just decided to fungal and kill it anyways. I don't want Terran units in my home. Come on now. A little trick here. I'm trying to splash over his siege tank to kill his missile turret. I mean, the egg's got about 100 health. So that's going to keep it in a little bit, but he does wise up and he does repair, and he does resort for the massive damage to come out of his planetary fortress. But come on, you gotta laugh at that. It's actually a really good tactic. That's actually one of the big reasons why I got these Infestors, and I want to talk about this as we watch Terran get destroyed, because who doesn't love that? What was I going to say? Oh yes, getting the Infestors early game, it's very effective against Siege Tank Marine timing pushes. One of the big things that you can abuse, I mean, those eggs, they are a unit, they are a point with mind control. They are a point with 100 health. That is a punching bag, a huge, huge punching bag for these siege tanks to splash siege damage. So please keep that in mind. If you do, it often chuck an egg in the middle of a marine pocket, it's like you have siege tanks against him. So don't fret if you don't have any fungal growth ready to go. Don't worry if you don't have enough for your energy upgrade, where they come out with more energy. Don't worry about it. Just get your infestors out as quick as possible. At least you can use some infested Terran. And as I learned in a game earlier, if you are going for a strat similar to this, please at least get a Baneling nest. You don't have to get Banelings, but at least put the hooks in there to where, let's say that they go for a bio attack on your base, like a stim rush or whatever. Please, just a few Banelings will save you from that early game humiliation. I mean, I did suffer from that earlier on, where I learned, oh yeah, that's why I always get a Baneling nest no matter what. So, long audio commentary, so thank you very much for tuning in. Once again, this is audio number 29. Number 30 is actually going to focus a little bit on what not to do in this matchup. We're going to feature another Terran game, actually one that I lost in Metalopolis. And I want to point out some of the key features of what will lead a game into a loss, and how to avoid it. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the next part of our Zerg versus Terran series. I knew I am, obviously, because I'm making them. So, anyways, all the lovely little links to subscribe or whatever. You guys go to YouTube. You're probably bombarded by schmucks trying to make you subscribe. So screw it. If you like it, yeah, do the whole subscribe thing. Whatever. I'm not going to shit the bed over it. So, see you guys. Thank you for tuning in. For those on the live stream right now, stay tuned because we're going to continue tonight's show.